I'm here with Zev Rosenberg. He's one of our day shift CMEs. He's been our top performer for 2 weeks in a row. The first week he was at 142.41%, and this last week at 125.36%. How are you today?
I'm doing just fine.
Good, I'm glad to hear it. I have a couple of quick questions for you.
Okay.
First, we wanted to ask you how it feels to be the top performer for 2 weeks in a row.
Surprising, to be honest with you, because sometimes I end up calling some of the more difficult programs, but at the same time it's very gratifying.
Good.
But a little bit surprising. I certainly didn't expect it this week.
That's a good surprise, though.
Yeah.
If you could, it's a little bit deep, but tell us a little bit about one conversation from the last 2 weeks that really stuck out in your mind as being a great one.
Actually, I hadn't really known whether there would be one in particular, but I do remember there was one time when I was calling a blood bank, and I can't remember which one it was, and I managed to actually schedule 3 people in a single conversation because it basically was getting a whole family to come in and donate blood.
Very cool. That qualifies as a good conversation, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Then what kind of keeps you motivated through the day when you're working here?
Well, it depends on what I'm calling, but especially, when I'm calling blood banks, I just try to keep focused on the fact that I'm trying to save lives, and that more than just trying to get any specific result. But the other thing is just to try to relax and have fun with what I'm doing, and just make it as pleasant a conversation as possible for the people I talk to.
Good, very good point. Did you have any tips for other CMEs on how they can put up numbers like yours?
Oh yeah, I've already mentioned 2 of my main watchwords on that. Number 1 is relax.
Okay.
I know when I do not relax, when I'm not relaxed, I tend to rush things, I tend to talk too quickly, I tend to sound anxious, and my results tend to drop, and then that just becomes a vicious circle. So one of the key things is just relax. The second thing is have fun. Don't get deadly serious about anything. Reptiles are the only types of animals who don't know how to play. And when you get into that reptilian mindset, you're not going to really be able to do very well. And, I just sort of made up a list of things from once when I listened to some of my calls to listen to what I was doing well. And things like enthusiasm, slow down, keep the pace slow, conversational. Make sure that your keyword emphasis is something that is very is proper. But above all, sound confident, positive, and upbeat, and stay assumptive. That is so critical, because if you think you're going to lose an appointment, you're going to lose the appointment. If you assume you're going to get the appointment, you may not get it, but you'll have a much better chance of doing it if you do.
Okay, sounds like a delight to coach. Wow. If you share that with us, just hold it up so we can see what you're talking about. So would you say that having that posted in your booth is something that helps you, just to remind you when you see it every day?
Yes.
Okay, it's a good point. That's something for other people to keep in mind. And really good question here to wrap up. How do you plan to stay on top?
Follow this.
Stick to that?
Just follow this. If I can follow that, that's fine. But the other thing also, I'm very mindful of the fact that my goal is not to be necessarily the best in the room. The key thing for me is to make sure, number 1, that the program I'm calling for, if that's a goal and I've contributed to that, that's my number 1 goal. The number 2 is to make sure that I stay on goal myself. And then if I can go above room average or even be on top, that's great. But the main thing is just to try to do the best I can do.
Good. That's very insightful. We appreciate it. Thank you for sharing with us. You have a great day.